No idea how long the delay is between when we actually go live and when people see it, because now we have to actually start streaming first on OBS, and I just realized this looks weird to me. That looks weird to me. And I also don't... Yeah, there's the delay between what happens on OBS, right? But also we have to load up, start streaming on OBS first to the YouTube, and then we have to press live on YouTube again. That whole setup, I don't really understand how it works. But I'm sure after like 15 seconds, we should actually be live now. So...
Yeah. Oh yeah, we are.
There.
I'm watching us.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah. Now I'm worried that I like put some sort of typo or something. 2 Rumored Nintendo Directs, Animal Crossing save backups, and Wonderful 101, Podcast 110 in my description, with 2 Rumored Nintendo Directs this month, Animal Crossing Horizon news, the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter, and issues from the coronavirus. We have a lot to discuss. And you know what? I should just read the description whenever I need to do the intro, because that's it. That's the podcast topics right there, my friends. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Boom. Efficient.
Yeah, that's it. Hello there, friends in the chat. Vooper, Sonic Gamer, Brandon Stallion, Kami Mingo, hello there. I know, no, because I didn't get your message. Oh, I'll go ahead and add you then. If you're ready to go, I'll add you. So, Kazoo was actually supposed to be our guest for the week, but I missed her message. So, I'm adding her now. Yep. Creating the group DM. Setting that up. You guys should just see a blue screen right now. And actually, on that note, let me make sure I add TheYellowKazoo as the guest in the description.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Oh, shoot.
What's up?
Where are
You're
my
not on-
earbuds?
Oh, okay. You're not on camera yet, by the way. We are live, but as you probably know.
You're probably echoing right now, so that's not good.
You hear us echoing?
No. It's probably echoing for your viewers.
Oh. It sounds okay right now, but yeah, usually you try to go for headphones to avoid that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I didn't remember it.
And guys, I am adding TheYellowKazoo in the description. So if you guys have not seen her before, she also has a Nintendo channel. You should check her out. It's now linked in the description. Should be there. Hey, Sabbath64.
What did you say?
Oh, you got the red Joy-Con version, Sabbath. That's awesome. What'd you say, Kazoo?
Sorry, I'm like kind of out of it because I just slept for like 2 hours and I never do that.
Oh.
Okay.
You ready?
Actually, hang on.
All right, take your time. So, while Kazoo gets her things together, we'll just get started with everything. As I described to everyone, we're going to be talking about the 2 Rumored Nintendo Directs for this month. We're going to be talking about the Animal Crossing New Horizons situation with the save backups. We're going to be talking about some implications of the coronavirus in terms of Nintendo. And there's one more thing we're going to be talking about. Oh, yes, the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter. And there are some interesting implications from that as well, which we will be getting into. But before we do that, as Kazoo prepares herself, Brandon, how about... I think she just fell.
I am a mess.
Are you okay? I don't know if she can hear us.
It's fine.
Brandon, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
I got some headphones.
Nice.
Okay.
I finally have 2 days off in a row for the first time in like forever. So it's like,
Yay!
I have time to do things other than work all day, which is nice. I bought $1,200 worth of PC parts because I'm building a whole new PC, which is
Really?
yeah, and a lot of them are coming tomorrow, so I'll get to put that together. And my older sister is pregnant, so that's a thing.
Oh,
So
really?
a lot of
Wow.
stuff going on, yeah.
That's cool.
His life has been busy. Yeah. I haven't gotten as many parts as you have, but I did get a micro SD card recently. 400 gigabyte micro SD card for my Nintendo Switch. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm gonna be able to store a lot more things because my 120 gigabytes was not enough. I've been downloading way too much, and now I'm gonna be downloading a lot more. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I'm also excited about this thing over here. So I recently got this puzzle, this Super Metroid puzzle. I think I put it visible for you guys to see what I'm sort of looking at here. But yeah, it's a puzzle, and I like it. It's about games, kind of, because it's Super Metroid, so, you know. But besides that, I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers. I've been trying to get good with Byleth. It's a work in progress.
Oh.
It's kind of annoying me.
Haven't played as Byleth yet.
You should. You really should.
Yeah.
Because Byleth is awesome, but it kind of annoys me because when I first got Byleth, I paired up against somebody, they kicked my butt. I fought them, I rematched them again, they kicked my butt. I rematched them again, they kicked my butt. And this ensued for like 2 or 3 hours, and they sucked my points all the way down from 5 million
stayed there
to like to 100,000. So the other day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna work on this, and I was like 16-3 for the day, and I only went up 100,000 points. So I went down from 5 million in the span of like an hour, less than an hour, to 100,000 in one day, and then I spent like 2 or 3 hours beating a whole bunch of people, and I only went up to 200,000. So I have quite a hurdle to reach if I ever dream of making it into Elite Smash with Byleth, or any Smash character for that matter, because I haven't gone past that hurdle. It's sad.
I haven't really played online, at least not with randoms.
Yeah. With Pokemon, on the other hand, I'm on a pretty good winning streak. I haven't lost yet in this season. I'm 8-0, so I haven't played that much, but I'm already a Master Tier for February, and I have different team ideas coming around. I feel like I'm getting somewhere in preparations for regionals. I'm actually going to be going to Canada for regionals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to be going to Canada. I haven't played competitively, like in the actual competitive official format, for a couple of years. My goal is to win the regional, beat a few hundred people over in Canada, and it's going to be awesome. And what's interesting is that I used to play competitive Pokemon before I used to do all this YouTube stuff. So
Wow.
it would be cool if that could become an element to the channel. A lot of those people who like to watch a lot of competitive dying were to come and watch, because I've been doing this series and no one's watching. Well, some people are watching, but it's like, you know, the series isn't doing well. But I'm hoping that once I start getting... Siri, no, stop it. I said series. But anyway, if you want to watch competitive battling, check out the series. I don't suck. I'm pretty good. But yeah,
Nice.
That's going well. So I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Smash lately, basically, to sum things up. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
That's cool.
How about you, Kazoo?
Well, I've just been, I don't know, just, you know, streaming. So that's pretty much most of what I do on my channel. I actually started up a series with Mario Maker called Kisses from Kazoo. So I basically showcase levels, and it's actually me trying to clear out my queue. So that's been
cool.
pretty fun. That's been pretty fun.
Cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
I haven't played Mario Maker in a while.
I haven't played it since
It's
Oh,
painful.
really? Yeah, I love Mario Maker.
July.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I still have it. I'm not sure. I'm not
I
sure.
definitely have it because I've never sold any of my Switch stuff. So
Yeah, no, I sold a couple things. I need to. I don't know, but I have to double check that. But let's check in with the chat here. Let's see how everyone's going, and let's get started with the actual topics. So, Super Chris, Amazing J, 90,000. Hello there. Super Chris saying our guest Blue Window Screen. Blue Window Screen is a very popular guest. I haven't even bothered to change my background yet since I completely wiped my computer, so that's just like the default screen. Booper is asking rhetorically, why is Animal Crossing still so far away? It's coming. It's coming. Right, I'm pretty sure we're getting an Animal Crossing Direct soon. Probably not this week, but I bet towards the end of the month we're gonna get an Animal Crossing Direct. What's the day? Is it March 14th? When's New Horizons?
It's the 21st.
I just know it's March. I haven't paid attention to the specific date.
I thought it was the 20th or the 21st.
New Horizons release date. You're probably right. March 21st sounds. March 20th. March 20th, 2020.
Okay.
So
same.
Yes, March 20th.
Okay.
International Happiness Day.
International Happiness Day.
Yes.
Good for everyone internationally happy, I suppose. Yeah, so we are a little bit of a ways off.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that it would be International Happiness Day because it's Animal Crossing.
I get it. I also understand that we got Tokyo Mirage Sessions in January. Byleth came out in January. In February, there's nothing.
Yeah, there's really nothing in February.
There's nothing. And leading up to the release for New Horizons, at least coming from Nintendo, there's nothing. So there's not that much right now to play in terms of new stuff. Granted, last year was pretty good, right? There was a lot of solid titles. But, you know, like, I can see why people would be like, all right, come on, we need something. And on top of that, we still haven't gotten any news. Like, besides, well, we're getting little tidbits of Animal Crossing here and there. But you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, a Nintendo Direct, we've gotten nothing. So, we're going to be talking about more Nintendo Direct rumors again, as usual. So, but this one, I think, is the truth. Like, I mean, I hope you guys understand that I don't cover rumors unless I, like, think there's credibility to it. Like, I very rarely will pull up a 4chan leak, and if I do, it's to talk about how wrong it is. You know, rarely are we like, hey, you know, this 4chan leak is probably true. It probably has happened, but it's just like, you know, not that common. So we're
like, well, I mean, you know, the old adage, a broken clock is always right twice. So, you know, if everyone's like, oh, there's gonna be a direct next week, there's no direct. There's gonna be a direct next week, no direct, and that over and over again until there's finally a direct, and then it's like, oh, see, look, I was right.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, well,
it's
you
pretty
were
much
wrong
exactly
like 20,000 times.
But I'll say that with Brandon and I, we were hoping for a January direct, but once that window passed, we're like, nope, it's not happening. And if it happens in February, we're both saying February 13th. Right, Brandon?
Yeah, that was...
and February 13th could still happen.
That's happening. That's when it's happening. I guarantee it. We're going to get an announcement like Monday, or we're going to get an announcement on Tuesday, and it's going to happen on Thursday. That is...
And
I'm
have
sticking
Thursday
to
off.
it.
Yes.
I don't. I'm hoping it's really early in
They
the morning.
might announce it Wednesday.
Oh, if it happens on Wednesday, I'm off on Wednesday, and that'll be way easier for me to cover.
No.
Yes.
I have to work.
That'll be perfect for me.
No, I think they might announce it Wednesday.
They might announce it on Wednesday. That sometimes happens.
Nintendo Directs should just be national holidays. Everybody gets it off. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really though.
Yeah. So it's kind of tricky for me because I'm very confident that something's happening this week. So I have like a particular video that I want to put out. I intended for it to come out tomorrow, but I haven't gotten around to even recording it yet, so I have to record it, then edit it, and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
I don't want to say what the topic is, but it potentially would.
It's gonna be a good one.
Could be impacted by what happens in the direct. So I'm like, should I save it for later? Should I wait? Because if I end up spending 8 hours working on this video, and then I publish it, and then I'm wrong about what I'm saying, and that truth comes out like a day later, or I'm right, and we find out about a day later, it's like the video has no importance either way. It only lasts for like a day. So I'm trying to decide if I should just like do it anyway, and just it'll have a lifetime for one day, or it will be fine, because no news of that particular topic will come up during the direct. So I'm not sure. Maybe I should wait. I probably should wait. Yeah, that's a smart thing to do. Maybe it'll come out Thursday or Saturday. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna figure it out. Maybe I'll figure it out during this podcast. I'll just give you a hint. It has to do with Zelda. All right, that has to do with Zelda.
Okay. I know what it is then.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Kinda. Yeah. We'll get into it. We'll probably talk a little bit about it today. I just we'll get there. But I want to kind of check in with the rest of the chat, and then we'll really jump into the topics, okay? So, hello there, Cake Man. Grief and Golem, what's up? Jack G 2018 Master, hello. Savage 64. Even though I rebought.
Jack G, what's up? JACG, what's going on?
Even though I rebought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I still want a new Mario Kart game with brand new characters. # bring back Diddy Kong. Yeah, I mean, like, Brian and I touched on it a little bit. I made a video during the week. Like, if there is a new Mario Kart, which I personally think would be a little weird.
Super Smash Bros. Kart.
I think they gotta go in that direction. I think they gotta do that.
Kart.
But I also want a hub world, kind of like Diddy Kong Racing. But do both.
Ooh.
Add more Nintendo characters, add a hub world, add a mission mode, expand the online features. You do all that along with keeping really awesome tracks and it being a healthy roster in terms of tracks and characters. That would be great. It'll be a lovely Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
But I'll just talk about it now. We're talking about it now. And this has related to the video I'm talking about. So, like, I'm gonna cover the rumors if there's like credibility to them and it impacts what we're, Nintendo stuff. But that doesn't mean I always am like, yeah, this is for sure happening. Every time there's like Sabby says something or King's L or someone like that, like it when they say it, I take it seriously because they have really good track records. But we also take into consideration that with a lot of rumors that are even coming from reliable sources in the past, it's proven to not happen quite the way it was said or a little differently.
Yeah, a little differently, yeah. Because Nintendo is the king of left field, and they always do something unexpected.
Right, yeah. You should expect the unexpected with Nintendo, except what the weird thing about that is that once they have you expecting the unexpected, they will go ahead and do the expected because you didn't expect it. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is the point I'm getting at here. So you guys know about those 2 Wii U ports that were rumored by Emily Rogers?
Yeah.
Well, Brandon and I talked about it various times, and both of us had concluded before more rumors had come out that we thought most likely that it was Wonderful 101 and Pikmin 3, right? The Pikmin 3 I feel like is a safe one. That's like fairly likely, especially because Per Schneider on IGN, they talked about this rumor. Per Schneider, he's high up at IGN. He for sure has sources. When he says something, that's pretty trustworthy, right? Something was moving in the back. I think a cable just fell. There's nothing else is alive in my room besides me, so I'm just a little worried. Anyway, yeah, that I know of. Anyway, he had said that he knew what it was, right? He implied that he knew what it was, and he said of the 2 titles, he had like a certain excitement scale for them, right? One of them was a 9 out of 10, another was a 6 out of 10. Okay, now that was an excitement scale, not necessarily like a critical acclaim scale, right? And he then went on to say he really loves Nintendo's take on strategy games. That was an obvious tease for Pikmin, okay? And that would probably line up with the 9 out of 10 in terms of excitement. And I'm all for that. I think there's a strong demand or need for Pikmin. Also, Animal Crossing, we were all demanding that. But Pikmin's been dormant for a while, and to bring it back with a nice Pikmin 3 remaster, and then maybe we get the Pikmin 4 reveal later on this year or next year, I think that would be great. But the other title is really what I'm sort of like talking about here. So, the most recent IGN podcast with Per Schneider, after the news of Wonderful 101, right? He said that for Wonderful 101, his excitement, he didn't even bring it. They weren't talking about any other excitement scores. He just brought it up and said, "My excitement score for this game is 6 out of 10," as he had discussed a few weeks beforehand. So, this is what I'm thinking. Instead of it being 3D World and Pikmin 3, like a lot of leakers are saying, what if it isn't that? And the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter is one of the 2 Wii U ports Emily Rogers was talking about beforehand.
It could be.
Now, I could just be sort of looking too deep into what Per Schneider is saying, but from what I saw, what I've listened to on the different podcasts, it sounded like to me that from what he understood, that those were also the 2 titles. Wonderful 101, which was just announced with the Kickstarter, and the other being Pikmin 3, which is still not official information yet. Meaning, right, the big thing here, because there is an end point to this, right? Like, basically, I'm debating if 3D World is going to happen this year, right? There is a rumor for it. Is it happening? Because if Super Mario 3D World is being ported over to the Switch, one, I think that's dumb, but that's neither here nor there. The real issue here is if that comes out this year, that like pretty much cements in my mind that there's no way that Super Mario Odyssey 2 is coming out this year. If Super Mario 3D World is actually being ported over.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it's going to be because everyone is talking about it. Like, there are those games on the internet that, or they're like those, I don't know, trends on the internet that, like on like, Twitter, whatever, and like, there always seems to be just like a consensus that, oh yes, this is going to be a thing that's happening, and it's like they usually turn out to be wrong. So, and I feel like 3D World is that. I can't remember.
I could see some getting confused saying it's a 3D World port when there's actually just another Mario game in the works. Like, it's possible. Now, I'm not saying Mario Odyssey 2 is coming out this year for surezies. I'm just saying that, like, I could see a situation where the rumors that it's 3D World and Pikmin 3 aren't fully true. You know?
The way I could see it, I couldn't really see people getting confused with 3D World and Mario Odyssey 2. They're just, to me, they're just too different. But what I could see is them definitely hearing that about the Kickstarter, but obviously not knowing it's a Kickstarter, just hearing that, wanting it to come to Switch and having that just be like, just assuming that it's a normal Switch port.
It's a port that Nintendo is doing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I could definitely see them, because that's just a bit of information, because technically it is a Wii U port coming to the Switch.
Right, just not being published by Nintendo.
Kickstarter.
Right.
Yeah. And it's coming to other systems as well.
It is technically a Wii U port.
So really,
I could definitely see that being the case where they got confused. They just got a little tidbit of information and they assumed it would be like the other Wii U ports we've got.
Yeah, even though it's a little bit different. It's because it's still gonna be a port. It's a port happening through a Kickstarter, apparently.
Right. Yeah. So I guess the basic thing I'm arguing here is the validity of the rumors saying that Super Mario 3D World is one of the 2 Wii U ports. Maybe there are 3 Wii U ports, right? Maybe. Right?
Could be.
But
yeah, because maybe the Wonderful 101, maybe it doesn't count.
Right.
As a
maybe that wasn't counted in what Emily Rogers had said initially. But that's all I'm really challenging here. The validity of that rumor saying it was 3D World and Pikmin 3. I can very easily see a situation where 3D World just doesn't happen. Especially because, in my opinion, I never really felt like we needed 3D World. We have plenty of multiplayer games on the Switch. There's already a go-to 3D Mario game with Mario Odyssey. and I feel like they're for sure working on Mario Odyssey 2. Could they do a 3D World port? Like, they could. I just think if we're already getting, there's already so many like remasters and ports happening. Like, we know Prime Trilogy is supposedly in the works. We're getting Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. If we also get Pikmin 3, that's a lot, and then we get another one, and that's 3D World. It's just weird.
My
it's
thing
weird
is,
to me.
3D World is kind of the next obvious pick, I guess, for leakers or fake leakers to just be like, oh, it doesn't seem like it's Wonderful.
I mean, it's
so
a Mario game.
Yeah, you know
Mario.
what? Yeah, 3D World 2. Yeah, fake leakers. Because fake leakers, let's be real, they're not that creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just piggyback off other rumors and just call it a leak. Say, oh, yeah, my uncle told me this.
Yeah.
Right. Because,
My
I mean, like,
uncle works at
Xenoblade doesn't make
Nintendo.
sense. X doesn't make sense because we're getting
Definitive edition this year. Right.
So, and there's not that many other big games. Like, Nintendo Land doesn't make sense because it's too much work. Because it's completely evolved on the gamepad.
No, yeah.
Having to try to figure that out would be insane. And, like, Mario 3D World is, like, the other big one left, really. So...
Could just be maybe that. And we also just got Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That's another one. Just saying, we started the year off with a Wii U port. So we get two more...
like 3 Wii
Come on.
ports.
All right, let's go over the math one more time here.
4.
Okay? All right. So I understand Wonderful 1 is not being published by Nintendo, but it is happening, and Nintendo didn't know about it. Okay, so there is that, right? So Wonderful 101.
I believe they had to give them permission. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't entirely
understand. They mention Nintendo letting them do it in their Kickstarter, but it's in like a weird, vague way.
Okay.
Like they
there was
thank Nintendo in it.
At the very least, there was communication between Nintendo and Platinum Games, and it sounds like from what you're saying, they were granted. That makes sense. So they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead, do. We just want some royalties or something like that, right? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, maybe there was. I don't know exactly how it would work, but point is, Nintendo understood Wonderful 101's coming this year on the Switch, right? We just got another Wii U port in January, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It's rumored that we get Pikmin 3 and 3D World. Okay, that's 4 ports. And Prime Trilogy supposedly could happen at any point this year. It may not, but it could happen at any point this year. Right? And Prime Trilogy isn't technically a Wii U port, but it would be a remaster for a game that came out on Wii and was right.
A Wii port, right?
And we're getting a remaster a remake for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That's a lot. Okay. That's a lot of repurposed content that could potentially all come out this year.
It is a lot.
So if I had to guess, out of all of those things, if one of those things doesn't happen this year, right, it's either Prime Trilogy or 3D World. Maybe both.
Yeah.
So I just don't think there's a need for 3D World. I don't.
No, especially like we have other rumored major Mario titles. We have the possibility of Super Mario Odyssey 2. We have the Paper Mario game that's rumored.
Right.
Like they don't really need, like Mario Kart 9's being rumored. We don't need a 3D World port.
So, that is what a lot of leakers are saying. Could be true for sure, but also might not be true. So that I'm really just questioning that right now. I'm curious what you guys in the chat think about it though. So I'm gonna check on that, see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Michael L. I'm hoping / somewhat expecting an announcement either Tuesday or Wednesday for a direct.
Also, there's 21 watching, only 10 likes, so...
I'm not going to complain if you leave a like. That won't happen. Okay. Griffin Golem is asking, is Odyssey 2 even going to happen? I believe it is.
Yes.
We never got any
100%.
DLC for Super Mario Odyssey 1. And I believe the scenario is very similar to the situation with Mario Galaxy 1. They both had a similar level of success. There were a lot of ideas and concept art that were going to that game that didn't make it to the final form. And a lot of that could extend to DLC. That didn't happen for Mario Odyssey 1. They just made Mario Odyssey 2, right? And I could see that as a similar thing happening for the next version of Mario Odyssey. Not to mention, Something similar just happened with Breath of the Wild. They had a lot of DLC ideas for Breath of the Wild.
That's true.
And they just decided to focus on that and make a whole new sequel. So, I mean, if we're getting a sequel to Zelda, I could very easily envision a scenario where you also have a sequel to Mario Odyssey. They have the engine, the Mario game is there. There's plenty of years left on the Switch. I just really think it's a matter of when, not a matter of if.
Yeah, it just makes too much sense. I mean, this game...
We already know they're working on the next Mario game. That's not really up for debate either. Like, that's confirmed
Back in E3 2017, they said that the game was pretty much done when we first saw it in the January presentation. So it's like they've had since then to start.
I'm sure they were polishing it throughout the year, but they could have.
They were.
But they still could have had a lot of ideas.
They said they were mostly optimizing it because they were still getting to grips with the Switch hardware and stuff. So they were optimizing the game, but they were definitely like thinking about like DLC ideas, and then that leads into a sequel and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Vooper's saying, I think if Mario Odyssey were coming out in 2020, it would have been announced already. Well, it could, but hold on. First, we haven't gone to the Direct for this year yet, so most of the games that are coming out this year haven't been announced yet.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Mario Odyssey 2 is happening this year. I'm simply saying that a lot of games that are coming out this year have not been announced yet. And also, we have seen scenarios where really big games for the year aren't announced till later into the year. A perfect example, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It came out 2018 in December. It wasn't announced until March of that year.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
You know,
technically, this is only a little bit later than the official reveal for the original Mario Odyssey. Later into the year, I mean.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And that had a 9-month window as well. So, Smash, that was a 9-month window. And.
Yeah.
So Mario Odyssey 9-month window also.
I'll give you that. It's a little unlikely to expect a major AAA title like Mario Odyssey 2 to be revealed at E3 and then to come out in the same year. I'm trying to think of an example where something like that happens. So basically the point I'm making is whatever we don't see in this Direct, hard to say what will... I mean, there will be some things announced at E3 that I think will come out in the year, but also some of those things will be coming out in the next year.
There's a few titles I could see getting announced in E3 and coming out this year. Paper Mario game, I could see getting announced at E3.
But that's not a big AAA title. That's more like a AA sort of thing. You know?
Right. 2D Metroid could get announced at E3.
2D Metroid.
The year.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a few titles, but I can't think of any like big.
When was the last time we got a big major release announced at E3 and it comes out, that holiday season? I'm trying to think of a scenario. Just looking at the Switch, right? Breath of the Wild, that was announced way in advance. Smash is the closest was a March to December sort of thing. Xenoblade Chronicles
was the closest.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was January to December. Mario Odyssey was January to October. Pokemon that doesn't count, because we pretty much assume it's coming out every year. Not to mention they did announce it early in the year anyway. Yeah, I can't think of any. So I'll say that I think in terms of big holiday titles, if it's not announced by E3, like the big stuff, like really big, like Game of the Year contender kind of games, by E3, then it's probably not coming out this year. Because looking at the track history of games on the Switch, that's what makes sense. So the February Direct could reveal some really huge stuff, right? So we could be in for some really huge announcements this week, because that could sort of outline what we're getting in the year. But it's also possible Nintendo could play a route where, like, hey, look, we're just going to tell you stuff about right now for what's leading up until E3. And then at E3, it's like, hey, you know what? Here it is. So it's possible they announce something, but in terms of, like, AAA stuff, I would agree.
Typically, with a Direct like this, like in February, usually they detail most of the games they talk about are from then until latest like July or August. But sometimes they'll have like 1 or 2 games though that are coming out later in the year than that. Right. Typically like June to July is like the latest the games come out if it's in a January or February Direct. February sometimes they go a little bit longer though compared to like January Directs. Like last year I feel like we got or when we had our last February Direct we got a few games that were later in the year.
That was last year.
Yeah.
That is like that whole direct is kind of a blur to me because I saw Mario Maker 2 and I was like, ah!
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Savitz is saying, I see Breath of the Wild 2 coming out before another 3D Mario game comes out. I agree. That's actually related to the video I'm going to be talking about, because I'm going to tell you what the video idea is about. Basically, despite what some leakers are saying, I still think it makes sense for Breath of the Wild 2 to come out this year as a big holiday title. If it doesn't come out this year, that would be because of unfortunate delays, but I think the internal plan still is for holiday 2020. I think it would be weird. It would be really weird if Nintendo doesn't have that game come out by the end of the year. I could do a whole bunch of... There's a slew of reasons why. Some of it is from actual people and things that they said. They have inside sources. Some of it's just what makes sense logically. Some of it is just what history suggests. But, which is what the video will be focusing on. But it kind of depends. Basically, right, if I make this video and talk about every little detail, outline every little detail, then the direct's like, hey, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out holiday 2020. It's like, well, sure. My point is made sense for a day, right? Or vice versa, like, you know, so there's that. But I'll make another interesting point, though. When we've gotten delays for major games, oftentimes they're announced, you know, at the beginning of the year. So, like, for example, Metroid Prime 4 was like, hey, this is getting delayed. They decided to announce a delay in January. We've made it through the death month. There have been no announcements saying, hey, guys, Breath of the Wild 2 is a ways off. Don't, like, overhype yourselves, right? Because
they didn't mention it in the investor meeting either.
They didn't mention it in the investors meeting, right? I feel like they could have specified, hey guys, look, we're not gonna have any Zelda this year. Like that could have potentially been mentioned. So, I mean, I think it could still go either way, but I think it's something that if it wasn't, I think considering that they had the trailer at last year's E3 and based off the way they've been announcing everything and revealed to release date for most of their games, save for Metroid Prime, which they went out and announced its delay. They haven't announced that delay, right? Or that it's not coming out this year. So I think that could be telling that they're still planning on it coming out this year, despite what some leaks are suggesting. So, you know, there's different stuff. But regardless, Sabbath, I agree that Breath of the Wild 2 seems like a better bet to come out this year than Mario Odyssey. I mean, but they both could be on similar cycles though, because, well, Breath of the Wild came out in March, but the DLC came out holiday season. They started development for Breath of the Wild 2 at the end of 2017. I think it's somewhat of a safe assumption that they started development for Mario Odyssey 2 shortly after Mario Odyssey 1 came out. So they could have similar cycles. Maybe they wait a little bit. That's possible. It wouldn't shock me if Mario Odyssey 2 was announced really soon. But if that 3D World rumor is true, I don't expect that this year. And Mario Odyssey could easily be like a big holiday 2021 title. We gotta have stuff for next year as well. So we'll see. Grief and Golem added me. Why are you dead set that we're 100% getting Odyssey? I feel like we kind of talked about that a little bit. I do have a specific video about that though. So if you where I talk about it. It's just a very, very, very similar situation to Mario Galaxy 1. And there's, you know, we already talked about it, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely watch Andres' videos. They're really good.
She knows what she's
good,
talking.
good videos.
Ronnie Fazio, Hideki Kamiya once expressed interest in doing a game for Takumaru. That would be interesting. Yeah, I agree, Sabbath. Rumors are fun to hear, regardless of whether they become real or not.
Yeah, they're fun to hear.
It's a speculation channel. If they weren't fun, I don't know what I'd be doing.
What are we doing here?
True. But you use reasoning, right?
I tried to. I try to be logical about what I think is possible.
Guesses and such.
Educated guesses. That's what they are. Savage 64. I hope it's not called Super Mario Odyssey 2. I'm being honest. I want a new name for the game. I mean, I guess considering they call Mario Galaxy 2.
Theme. Yeah. If we had to go with the trend, it's gonna be called Super Mario Odyssey 2.
Or they call it Super Mario Odyssey Universe. Because then it turns into a situation because it's Galaxy 3 and Odyssey 2 in 1.
No, I don't want that.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
Too different.
That would be interesting. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I would love it if they brought back some of the gravity mechanics, but I still,
Right, but the mission structure and everything about Galaxy is just way different. So I think the Galaxy fans would be upset with that.
I mean, how many Mario 3D Mario sequels have we had? There's been Galaxy 1 and 2, like direct sequels. Galaxy 1 and 2, even though like story-wise it wasn't really any connection.
No, yeah.
It's really
it was
just
a
more
retelling, but it didn't even make any sense.
Yeah. Then I guess maybe 3D Land and 3D World. That's
Mario
pretty...
64 and Sunshine are direct sequels story-wise.
Story-wise. But mechanics-wise, not.
They're pretty close to mechanics, except Flood exists.
What? Wait, really?
Yeah, Mario Sunshine happens like right after the end of Mario 64.
Oh. Wow, I didn't know that.
I just feel like that doesn't it doesn't count.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a sequel.
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels very
like it hasn't
mechanically to me.
Right, because it was a 3D Mario game. It was the second 3D Mario game, right? Because Mario 64 was the first one.
The mission structure was the most similar to, and the way the missions was the most similar to 64 as well.
That's true, and in that regard, yes.
It was just like Mario 64.
I guess to me, my perspective on it is that Mario 64 to Sunshine is basically Ocarina of Time to Wind Waker.
I see.
Like it's just like the primary Mario for the N64, primary Mario for the GameCube, primary Zelda for N64, primary Zelda for the GameCube.
It feels closer to Majora's Mask, in my opinion. It's the same, but it's twist. It's got twist. That's what it feels like to me. It's the same, but with a twist.
So then,
Flood's the twist. Time mechanic was the twist.
It's also on a different system. But then it's also
I mean,
for the 3D Land.
Yeah, those are different systems. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could easily go Mario Odyssey 2. That would be very messaging. It would be very clear if they did something different.
Yeah.
Like maybe they could go Mario Odyssey 2, and there's like some sort of interesting subtitle, like Mario Odyssey 2 Galaxy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Mario Odyssey 2, Mario's adventure through.
Super Mario Odyssey.
I don't know. They haven't really ever done that though.
It could straight up just be a 2. Yeah, they might just straight up do it 2.
They've never really gone creative with the names.
Yeah, they haven't really done. They haven't.
I mean,
really
look at Luigi's Mansion.
Subtitle.
Like, if we wanted like another comparison to something that's it's not Mario, but I mean Mario Luigi, right? Like the Luigi series.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 1. Now Luigi's Mansion 2.
Dark Moon.
Is Dark Moon, but I think it's just
called... Except in Japan, I think it was just 2.
Right, and then Luigi's Mansion
in Japan
3
it was 2.
is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
There's not. Yeah. It's just Luigi's Mansion. There's no subtitle, right? That's just Luigi's Mansion 3.
Nope.
So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that.
It's kind of weird.
Grief and Golem added me. Are you going to dignify the dumb miscommunication of no Sora people have been talking about? So I went ahead and I watched the podcast where supposedly this came up, and I watched it over through and through. And I'm gonna be frank with you. I feel like a lot of people reporting this didn't even bother to watch the podcast. I watched the podcast where this information came up.
100% they didn't.
And that was not made clear at all. At any point did they say Sora's not happening. I don't know where that was said. Maybe I missed it. I only saw the podcast once from beginning to end, unlike most people. But from what I understood, that was never confirmed at all. One thing that was said, though, that was made, that it sounded like they said, like, actually happened. They made it sound like that Nintendo did have communications with Square about Sora. Like, there was a conversation that was had about that. What materializes from that conversation, they did not make clear at all. But one of them did say, oh, for sure this happened. Because of the nature of the discussion, it was highly speculative. It's hard to say what actually happened and what is just something they believe happened or could have happened. But the way I interpreted it, most of what they were talking about in terms of possibilities is speculation, but they did refer to that event as if it did happen. But not at any point during that entire podcast did I hear any sort of confirmation whatsoever that Sora would not come. In fact, they were talking about the possibility of Sora maybe coming. That was the topic of discussion. Could Sora come? And they're like, oh yeah, maybe, but maybe Master Chief is a little bit more likely. Like, that's what they were talking about.
Master Chief's more likely than Sora.
Now you want to watch this podcast, don't you, Brandon?
I mean,
yeah.
Like, everyone is like down for Sora to be part of Smash. Like the Kingdom Hearts director, the Square Enix, Nintendo, Sora fans, Kingdom Hearts fans, Smash fans, like everyone except for I think Disney is down.
We're not exactly sure what Disney's stand on things are.
Oh really?
Disney's kind of weird about things about like that though.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
I don't know. I recommend you guys watch the podcast. It was a pretty good podcast. They had predictions for all of 2020 for all three companies. Nintendo was discussed several times. And actually, a lot of them were quite favorable towards Breath of the Wild 2 coming out 2020, by the way. Just point that out. But it was all speculation, right? That was made clear that it was all speculation. They weren't leaking anything, right? At least from their predictions. Like, these are people who are insiders. Their predictions themselves weren't like fake predictions, actual leaks. They were all predictions. But when they talk about those predictions, oftentimes they will talk about why they think that may happen based off things they know. So, you know, like, there's an important distinction to make between the facts they talk about that surround the predictions themselves. The predictions themselves are just predictions. But it's a fun podcast. I strongly recommend you guys check it out. I do not think Sora was at all deconfirmed, and I think that's just misinformation. Not that I'm saying he is coming. I don't know. But he was not deconfirmed as far as I know. Let me see here. Sat with Atomy. Here's a big question. Would you guys be disappointed if Cappy didn't return in the next big Mario game? No, not necessarily.
If it was Super Mario Odyssey 2, then yes.
Well, okay. I mean,
if it's specific, like, you gotta have that mechanic.
Like, if it's not Mario Odyssey and it's something else, no. But yeah, if it was Mario Odyssey, if it was like Mario Galaxy 3 or something, then I'd be like, well, that's fine. It really just depends on the context of the game.
I would like it to be Mario Galaxy 3.
That would be fantastic.
That would, oh my gosh. That would just make my life. I just like, I love Mario Galaxy so much. I need Mario Galaxy 3. I've been hoping for it for years. Like 8 years, ever since I played Galaxy 2. I'm like, we need a sequel. We need a sequel.
Honestly,
a sequel to the sequel.
I really wanted a sequel after playing the original Mario Galaxy. I never got to play 2. But after
you
playing
never
Odyssey,
played 2?
No. After Odyssey, going back and watching a playthrough of 2, I was like, man, this is not as good as I remember it being.
Maybe it's just the nostalgia because, like, Mario Galaxy 2, like,
I just don't like I was okay with the controls at the time, but I don't like going back to Wii mode and nunchuck.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Wii mode and nunchuck, especially for like a platformer. I think it works okay. The camera can be a little bit annoying, but I feel like Mario Galaxy camera was pretty good. But yeah, I feel like not having that second joystick kind of sucks.
Yeah. Also,
but
just having to keep the cursor on screen was just.
Yeah.
Like, oh, trying to catch your star bits. Oh, where is the cursor? Like, I never. Yeah, a lot of that has to do with your setup. If you have a good setup, it's not as annoying. It's just going back to the game to have it set up is annoying. Because
the linear nature of the levels kind of makes it easier for the camera to follow you, though. Especially, I feel like Mario Galaxy 2 is like way more linear than the first one.
But that was also my biggest complaint for the Galaxy series, not having a free roaming camera. That was my biggest complaint of the series. I want to explore more of the worlds, and I also wish the worlds are bigger, which is what Mario Odyssey is. So that's fine. One thing that would be cool if they brought back were some of the more like the gravity mechanics. So they bring the gravity mechanics. That's cool. If they put us in a situation where some environments are space like, that's okay. And then like they still had a lot of the sunshine levels where, you know, those extra sunshine levels that eventually became basically what Galaxy was. Like they still had a lot of those little separate levels in Odyssey. So that's fine. Like they still had that, but bringing back the Galaxy mechanics, taking us back to space, I'm okay with that. But I want to keep the sandbox style of the game that I really like. So I hope that maintains.
Honestly, I like 64 better than Galaxy, just because it's like the sandbox finding the stars, whereas Galaxy's just levels.
And you know, I think it's kind of divisive. I think there's a lot of people that prefer the Galaxy style. I've heard that a lot. For me, I love both games, but I prefer games with more exploration. It's just that simple. I always prefer more exploration. I want more worlds to explore and get lost in. So when you limit that,
I feel like Mario Galaxy was very limited, and it was. I feel like it had a little bit of that kind of Wii generation that Wii era where they just kind of dumbed things down.
Wait, which game?
They wanted to Mario Galaxy because
it was Wii generation.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It had that Wii effect.
Oh, gotcha.
That Wii era effect. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They dumbed it down for kids, and it was kind of easy. Everything's like very, very linear.
Right.
Hand-holdy as hell. So, I feel like it's that Mario, which the other games didn't really have that.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I just really like Galaxy 2. Oh, man.
Yeah. So Ronnie Fazio added me. I get really annoyed when people say no more anime sword fighters, however, then go on to say how they want Sora, Dante, and Lloyd. It's just Fire Emblem and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there are a lot of sword fighters, but as long as they feel different, I don't care. Like this, let's face it. Video games, like there's three options: you fight with a sword, you fight with your fists, or you fight with your guns. Like, there are some minor exceptions, but that's pretty much what it is with pretty much every video game character. So, you know, there's gonna be a lot of sword fighters. You have a game from different characters from different series. A lot of them have swords. At least with Byleth, it's not just a sword. There's an axe, a bow, and a lance. And I'll say that I use the lance and the bow way more than I use the sword. But that's just me.
Yeah. He's like a very he has that whole. What do they? I'm sorry, I can't remember what they call it. The thing that makes him, you know, have like all of the different types of weapons, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do think Vooper in the chat is bringing up a good point, though, that there are a lot of Fire Emblem characters compared to other series. Like, I'll be frank, I'm entirely happy with Byleth. I love the character. I love Fire Emblem Three Houses. One of my favorite games last year. Maybe my favorite game last year. But
that's good.
I do think it would have been nice to have gone representation for another series that's less represented in Ultimate. For example, I would have loved to have gotten a second Xenoblade character, right? That would have been great. Maybe that'll still happen. I am predicting that to happen for Fire's Pass Volume 2. But they went ahead and they represented another of an already very, very well supported series. But in their defense, right, Three Houses had not come out yet. Maybe they were worried it wouldn't do that well. I don't know why they would have thought that, but, you know, hard to say. Anyway, maybe once we see Fire's Pass Volume 2, there will be a lot of different characters and none of them are Fire Emblem. I think that's a prediction. There will be no Fire Emblem characters in Volume 2. It will be different characters from other series.
I'm 99% sure that is.
I am 99.5% sure.
Dang.
So, yeah, my confidence in that is high. Yeah. So, oh, look, your camera's back. But
Hi.
I guess we haven't specifically touched on. Well, we've touched on the different topics, but we haven't like honed in on one in particular. So let's kind of do that. Which one should we talk about first? Should we talk about the rumored directs? Should we talk about specifically the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter? Let's talk about that. The Wonderful 101 Kickstarter, and then we'll move on to the other things.
Okay.
So, the Wonderful 101. That there's a remastered version. It's coming out. There's a Kickstarter for it. They exceeded most of their goals. They've added a couple new goals. They're pretty close. They're over 1.5 million already. For the game. It's going to be on Switch and PS4 and I think Steam. I'm not sure. It's coming to these platforms. It's going to have extra stuff. If you support Wonderful 101 on Kickstarter, you can even get blocked by Kamiya. It's great. Now, what's interesting?
Hey, I already got blocked by him. It's fine.
Oh.
All you have to do is tweet at him in English.
And he blocks you.
So I've heard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just a meme now.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Kamiya is the director at Platinum Games. He runs the show. He directs all these games, and he's the big guy over there. So if you're a big fan of Platinum Games, you're a fan of his work. So yeah, go ahead and get blocked by him. Just support the game on the Kickstarter, or just tweet at him in English. But
yeah,
I personally, in terms of Wonderful 101, I'm not like that super into the game. Like I played the demo back on Wii U and it just didn't sell.
Yeah.
It didn't sell me on it.
I have absolutely not even. I don't care even like slightly about this game. I saw this happening. I'm like, oh,
neat.
Okay,
neat.
Interesting.
How about you?
Kickstarter for a game? That's interesting.
Are you not big on Wonderful 101 either? So, I mean, now, there's not really, I guess since none of us are big fans of Wonderful 101, we're not going to go into all the little details, like, oh, it's the remastered, like, it's going to be great. I'm not saying it won't be great, I'm just simply saying it's just not my personal cup of tea. But we'll see, maybe the changes that they bring to it will make it more interesting to me. But what's even more interesting about this to me is that this is one of 4 different titles that are coming according to the Special Platinum Games project. I'm going to show you the website real quick. Yeah, this is it. So I'm going to put it on screen for you guys. So there's this Platinum 4 website. And it's sort of teasing this number 4. And it seems like this 4 is for 4 different games. One of them, which has recently been announced, is Wonderful 101. Mm-hmm. Right?
Okay.
But there's a 2, there's a 3, and there's a 4.
There's a 4.
This is all implying that they have 3 other announcements to make this year. What could they be? And is this related specifically to just games coming out this year from Platinum Games? Or are they games that are more supported just by Platinum Games, like not necessarily being published by another company? It has been said that the Platinum Games wants to become more independent. They're trying to publish things on their own. They recently, they're getting backed up by Tencent Games, which is going to be giving them a lot of funding for different things. There's even some rumors that perhaps they are going to bring back Scalebound, which would be very interesting. Yes. If they get some serious funding from Tencent, perhaps they could make it in their own vision, and it won't be limited just to the Xbox One platform. Maybe. That would be very interesting to see. So do you guys have any ideas on what these other 3 games could be? Are any of them going to be coming to Switch?
Right. I'm curious.
These would be like. Would you not count Bayonetta 3?
I'm not sure if I can. Because
that's what I'm thinking. Like, is Bayonetta 3's announcement like a release date and all of that? Because we don't know anything other than the name.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. I don't know. I feel like with the lack of information on it, I could see them including that in this.
Well, I guess
before.
what I'm not sure of is if these announcements are going to have more to do with Platinum Games being more independent, because if so, Bayonetta 3 may not be included in that, because Nintendo would be publishing Bayonetta 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying Bayonetta 3 won't be announced this year. I'm just not sure if these announcements have to do specifically with what Platinum Games is going to be doing for the year, or specifically Platinum Games doing independently.
I honestly think it would be what they're doing for the year. I don't think that they would have 4 different things that they're doing independently at this moment, all ready to announce, to be honest. I think many of them will not be their own independent stuff.
So do you think this just could be kind of like what they want for the year 2020? Like their announcements for year 2020?
Yeah. I honestly do think Bayonetta 3 is probably one of them. It might even be number 2. We might get a big blowout at this or reveal it. Yeah,
I was gonna say it should be number 3 because Bayonetta 3.
There's an interesting point. Wonderful 101. It was the first one to be shown off here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So what's number 2?
What's number 2? It's just Astral Chain 2. It's already ready.
Astral Chain 2, yeah, right. Bayonetta 3, and you know
like
what?
That.
Actually, Retro Studios is working on Metroid Prime 4 in conjunction with Platinum Games, so there you go.
There you go.
That's it. That's not it.
I don't know.
It's tough.
What
else does Platinum Games actually make? I guess I don't know.
They make Nier, right? There's Nier Automata.
Oh, maybe Nier Automata 2? Or is there already a 2?
Yeah. I don't think there is a 2. I think it's just Nier Automata.
So
maybe the next one.
That would be cool. I want to play the first one. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Maybe they're bringing him to the Switch. That'd be nice.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, and maybe Scalebound. I don't think there has to be a number tied for each one. I just don't.
No, I really don't think so. I don't think they have enough.
What would be 4
games? Yeah, what would be 4?
Like
there's 2 3s if you're going with Nier, because Nier 1, which isn't called that, but Nier in the Nier Automata, which is number 2. So then the next one would be 3. So that doesn't work with Bayonetta 3. So I definitely don't think it's the number thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It is all coming soon, so it does have to be 4 immediate things that are happening this year, I would say. And it does seem unlikely that they would have 4 different projects being done independently on top of everything else. And considering how long it's been since Bayonetta 3 is announced and that the development is going smoothly, I gotta think Bayonetta 3 is gonna have some sort of announcement this year. So, yeah, I'm inclined to agree, Brandon. This could just be announcements that they have planned for the year in general. Bayonetta 3 seems likely to be one of them.
And you got the Star Fox from Zero remaster?
No.
It's actually a D-master. The graphics are worse.
A D-master.
What, you don't want a Star Fox Zero remaster?
No, I want a Star Fox done right. Like, Star Fox Zero had some fun elements, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot of things wrong with that game. Like, the controls were not the selling point, even though, like, they were the selling point. It was just a really bad thing to sell. It was terrible. It was very hard to control. It was cumbersome for most people. I understand there's a bit of a challenge to it, but really, ultimately, it was just annoying. I really just preferred looking at one screen. The entire time I played that game, I preferred playing on one screen as opposed to 2. And I'm one of the people that's like usually very supportive of Nintendo and pretty much everything they do. Like, I didn't like that. I thought,
same.
I mean, when I got the game, I was a bit more optimistic about it, but looking back on it, it was annoying. That was annoying about it. And also, the graphics were hit or miss. Like, there were some parts that looked great, there were other parts that looked like an N64 game in HD, and that was stupid. So that's another issue. Not to mention the game had no online multiplayer. Like, that's dumb. There wasn't any like deathmatch like Star Fox 64 had that. There was none of that. So a lot of things the game could have had. Now I understand that this during the Wii U era, they probably weren't putting too much into the game. There was a very low budget for the game. Nintendo wasn't really putting too much into the Wii U games coming out. So, it just didn't have the budget or the resources to really be an incredible game that I was hoping for a Star Fox game. So,
and also
I understand that, but I don't want them to remaster Zero, because Zero is... You can polish a turd as much as you want. At the end of the day, it's just a shiny turd.
one of the worst, huh? But also, you could say that Nintendo wasn't really... They didn't really have their finger on the pulse during Wii U era, I don't think. They weren't really listening to the fans, and so they also were being very archaic in their views of multiplayer, I think.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it was old-fashioned.
So that would explain the no online multiplayer and stuff. But anyway.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as Nier goes, it being another Nier game, Nier Automata came out February 2017, so it's been 3 years since the last game.
There could be another one.
Could have another one come out this year. That'd be nearly 4 if it comes out like later in the year. Nearly 4 years of development.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 years in between, not,
Yeah.
Roughly.
So it came out February 2020, you say? No, not February 2017.
Yes.
So if it came out, so...
The first one, though, came out 7 years before that in 2010. So there's a big gap between the first and second. But obviously they weren't, I don't think they were working on it the entire time. They had a bunch of other projects in between then.
Oh. Although, can we go back to Breath of the Wild 2 for a second?
No.
I just want to say that...
Of course you can.
Always.
Always.
No, I just want to say, though, that I would like it to come out March 2021, because then that would make it the 4-year anniversary of the first Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I understand anniversaries are nice, but you want to know what's better? Having a game to play during the holidays.
Having it.
I mean.
Yeah. I don't.
Why is that better though?
Because if it's ready, if the game is ready, sooner is better.
Well, yeah.
If it's ready. If it's not ready, that's a whole other thing. I don't think it should come out in March unless that's just when it's ready. So, like for example, Animal Crossing New Horizons. The plan was probably to have the game come out last December. The game was delayed till March. So, if the game's not ready for this holiday season, delay a few months.
Yeah, I guess it was never confirmed, but yeah. I also think that was the plan. We talked about this on one of my podcasts a while back. Where because we kind of outlined the games for each month, and Animal Crossing would have fit well into December, but
and there was nothing in December.
Exactly, there was nothing in December, exactly. So they needed more time to make it a good game, because a good game, or a bad game is bad forever, but a good delayed game is eventually good. So there you go.
Except for Animal Crossing, because it's not gonna have cloud saves. Not just kidding. That's a joke.
No.
It's not gonna have cloud saves, but they are gonna have a solution for it. And that's our segue into Animal Crossing, by the way.
I know. Yeah.
So, just the basic gist of the situation with Animal Crossing New Horizons. The game's not going to have traditional save data cloud backup like most other games on Switch. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's only one island tied to console, right? Which is kind of like the way it used to be back on the GameCube.
It's so dumb.
Which
is kind of weird, because what if you only have one Switch in your household and you have multiple people who play on that Switch?
You play in the same island.
I know you do.
No, though.
I know you do,
but no.
But
what if we all
It's weird because, like, and keep in mind, I haven't played Animal Crossing since Wild World, right? But which is on the DS. But
you haven't.
But what I understand, right, like with the home console Animal Crossing, like with on the GameCube, like everyone would play in the same town. Like you would have your memory card, you play in there, and then like it was like that. But with the handhelds, New Leaf, right, was where the game got really a lot more popular. Everyone got accustomed to playing Animal Crossing in handheld, and that's kind of like your own personal, private, catered to you kind of world, right? So
that's true, yeah.
With New Horizons, if you share the Switch with other people in your household, it will be a little weirder. However, I'll also say that Nintendo is aiming to get more systems in the household.
Yeah,
like, they don't just want one system per household. And actually, another fun fact, apparently, that 30% of Switch Lite owners already own a Switch. 30% of people who bought a Switch Lite had already had a Switch beforehand. Yeah.
They're double dippers.
Yeah, so Nintendo's goal here is to get people to buy more than one Switch. This Animal Crossing move kind of coincides with that. But just to be clear, I just want to make this clear, though. Nintendo has come out and said that they will have a solution for no traditional save data backup. So they are going to offer up a way to back up your save data. So that will be there. So for those who are concerned, they're going to have something. It's just probably not going to be the traditional way it's backed up for other games.
And so we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
We do not know what that is. We also know that there's going to be in-game purchases. Some people are saying, "Oh, does that mean microtransactions?" Probably not.
There are what?
In-game purchases can mean anything between microtransactions or just DLC. I'm pretty sure it just means DLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like, it could be microtransactions, but I really, really doubt that. I'm pretty sure it's just DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that would be weird.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Just some...
I don't know if we're at the point. Although they did do microtransactions in Pocket Camp. I know that's the free mobile app, but they did they're doing more microtransactions.
That's how you make money with mobile games, because the game's free, right? So
I know. So it does make sense, yeah. But I'm
pretty sure it's just DLC.
It's like they're getting their feet wet with microtransactions. So maybe they're not. Maybe because it is the free to play mobile game, but they are technically doing microtransactions, or like they were doing already.
Yeah.
So.
But as long as it's in the mobile games, I don't have a problem with that, because that's kind of expected with a mobile game. I don't have a problem with that.
But it's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? You feel me?
The moment microtransactions become a part of console games, then we have an issue. But that has not happened, so I'm not concerned.
Animal Crossing microtransactions weren't successful, though. Most people didn't buy them.
Okay.
They weren't. Okay. Yeah, they didn't sell very. The only one that actually is done well is the Fire Emblem one.
Heroes has
we
been
definitely
ridiculous.
Definitely don't have microtransactions in Fire Emblem Three Houses. So
that's true. Yeah.
But
it's probably too soon for them to consider putting microtransactions in their console games, and also they've seen. There would be so much backlash if they did. It would be.
I think it kind of depends on the game. If the game is free to play,
if the game is free to play,
that's different.
Then it might be okay. But
look at Fortnite. I play Fortnite all the time. Yeah. That game makes tons of money. Why? Because there's stuff you can pay. They're microtransactions basically. So I'm okay with games like that when they're free to play, and as long as it actually it still allows for a fun gameplay experience. That's fine.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, these are my issues. If there's microtransactions, the game better be free to play, and those microtransactions better not offer a competitive advantage.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Just like cosmetic and whatnot.
Yeah, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I like the way Fortnite does it, because when you get, for example, a season pass, it gives you more activities to do, but they're really all for fun. They basically just give you more points so you can get more cosmetic stuff and things like that.
It makes you worse at playing the game because you're too distracted trying to get stuff.
Right, if anything, it makes you worse because you have other things to do. Right. So I'm okay with that.
If they had microtransactions, this would be like Star Wars Battlefront 2 levels of backlash.
Yeah. Ronnie Fazio added me. He said, if Nintendo puts microtransactions in New Horizons, then they better be ready to catch some verbal hands. Yeah, that would definitely go over not well at all. But I don't think that's happening. I'm pretty sure it's just in terms of DLC. No real issues there.
I think it's just DLC, because isn't it from like a ratings thing?
Yeah.
It's probably just DLC that you can access in the game itself. Like.
Yeah. If anything, this is good news.
Like
this means there's more content coming.
Has that button for downloadable content.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, like pretty much every game does. Like Sword and Shield didn't have it initially, but now they do, right? Where you can buy the pass to get the different aisles. So, no, I'm not, there's nothing to be concerned about. I'm really just more curious about how you guys feel about the situation, how it's going to be locked to a specific Switch. That's kind of how it used to be.
It's dumb.
You think it's dumb?
I think it's dumb. I believe before it was locked to your save cart, so you could actually just put it in a different save cart and have a different town. And this, you can't really do that. It's not possible. I think it's just retarded. Like, there's absolutely no reason for this. It's just them doing it because they want to be backwards and retarded. Like, there's no logical thinking to this decision. They just wanted to be like, yeah, you just can't.
Well, I think it's logical.
Can't do it.
That's what I explained earlier. Buy more Switches.
Dumb. No, that's a terrible. That's just no. That's
it. That's buy more Switches. Buy more Switches. Well,
No.
I mean, I think you're looking at it from a half-empty perspective. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, right? I'm just simply saying, while there is that con, there's also the interesting part where you can share, right? Like with other people.
I mean, you could like do that anyways.
So it's kind of. I'm just saying that like there is a cool aspect to it.
But there's no pros to it. That's the thing. Like,
that is the pro that you can
there's
share.
No pros to it.
You could
you
share.
could already share it though, because you're sharing on that save file. It's not like you're
right. I understand what you're saying. It would have been better to have the option.
Yeah.
If it was just I get it.
You could just have multiple towns when you boot up the game, and then you just select. It, like some games, you actually boot the game and then you choose who you want to boot it in as. You're like who's playing, so they could just do that. Just boot it up, and then when you go into the island, is this something that you're gonna dislike because
you share your Switch with other people?
No, because I'll just be like, no, you're not allowed to play it. I have that control, but I can see a ton of people just getting really pissed off when their younger brother goes up and screws up their town because, well, mom says I can't tell them they're not allowed to play it.
Then they better just play it together.
Yeah.
Is there a co-op function? Do we know about that yet?
Yeah, you can play at the same time.
Then just never, whenever the turn, just be right there and ready. It's like, oh,
I mean, you can't stop them from axing down all the trees in your town and ruining the ecosystem.
Then cut them down.
Axe murderer.
Yeah.
Axe murderer in Animal Crossing.
Behead them.
Yeah. Why is it every time we talk about Animal Crossing, it always gets into homicide?
Because you.
That's what I want.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dark. I'm very dark.
Wow.
Just checking with the chat here, see what you guys are saying about it. We were saying I don't really have an issue personally because I don't share my Switch, and it's always been like that. So I was saying, same here. It's not that big of a deal to me.
I don't really have an issue. I don't share my Switch either, but I could see for people who do how it might be a problem.
Yeah. Ken Mingo added
me. What
me.
if I just want to have multiple towns?
A new Donkey Kong Country for a new Platinum game. Hey, I'm always down for new. Ooh, Platinum Games making a Donkey Kong. That would be basically like, imagine Jungle Beat where Donkey Kong would basically just box the hell out of other Kongs. Like, I can imagine Platinum Games going full gung ho action. It's like action hero Donkey Kong swinging around, beating the life out of people.
Oh my gosh.
But going back to what people were saying about Animal Crossing. Michael L, just break your Switch. If a Switch Pro comes out, then you can transfer easy as that. Yeah, that's a good option. Cakeman777, same time co-op is going to be great. Hello there, Lilypad.
Lilypad is she's one of my mods. What's up, Lily? Welcome.
Yeah, everyone should just buy a whole bunch of Switch Lites, as Ronnie Fazio's saying.
Yeah, just pay $200 for an extra system so that you can have another save file.
Yeah, Jugs McGee is does the same thing. He's saying this is why me and my brothers bought our own Switches. Yay for work. Hello there, Jugs McGee. That's the solution, guys. Just everyone just buy another Switch. That's what Nintendo wants.
This is the microtransactions. It's a $300 microtransaction for a new save file.
Brandon, those are macro transactions, yes, not macro transactions.
Well, it depends on in mobile games. It depends on what mobile game you're playing, man.
Yeah. So, but overall, you guys are more into Animal Crossing than I am, right? Like I said, the last one I played was Wild World, so there's only so much I can say about Animal Crossing.
This doesn't even really affect me too much because I'll just be like, no, you can't play. But I can definitely see a lot of people who this would be like terrible for them.
Yeah, same.
Like this could legit ruin the game for tons of people because they just are forced to share their towns and there's no other option.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and that's unfortunate for others.
I'm just thinking about it, like I get what you're saying, I see where the issue can be, but at the same time, right? You look at the entire audience for New Leaf. It's no different than a New Leaf situation, besides the fact that the Switch could theoretically not do that. Right, but like on New Leaf, you could only have one file, right? Like there wasn't an option to have another. Am I wrong? That was it.
Yeah, you could only have one file.
One per. If you bought, I believe you
one
bought
per
the
cartridge
game again. I believe, yeah, it was one per cartridge.
And I guess that's a little weird because at least then people could have their own individual cartridges for one.
Yeah.
But on the Switch,
it's a lot cheaper.
One per Switch.
Yeah, it just straight up like, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an issue for me personally.
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does kind of suck for other people.
It's just one of those things where it's like, why though? There's no point. Like, even if it's not the worst thing in the world, it's like, why is it even a problem? Like, why?
Yeah, like it's 2020 Nintendo.
Yeah.
2020 Nintendo making weird moves. That is true. But Vooper is asking me, are you still getting Animal Crossing? I plan on getting Animal Crossing. That is.
We can play online together.
We can play online and hopefully take axes and hack at each other. They can't do that, can you? No, but I can cut all the weeds in your town, right? Is that an option?
Yes.
I'll cut all the weeds in your town, but
Gardener Andres.
A bit bigger, the big tall.
Gardener Andres ready for action.
Yeah.
Just murder all your trees.
But I just don't feel like I know that much about the game yet. So I really want there to be an Animal Crossing Direct that I can actually pay attention to. Like, I'll give it my fullest attention. I will watch it and I'll be like, oh, so I can do all this stuff in the game. Awesome. Now I know about it and I want it. Like, I'm not super sold on it yet, but I'm probably just going to buy it anyway because of the channel. Because I have to talk about different Nintendo stuff. But, like, every time I see the game, I like what I see. Like, it looks really charming. There's something about the style that's, like, both aesthetically pleasing, but also makes it feel more... I don't know, there's something about it that feels a little bit more, like, it kind of jumps out at you a little bit more. It feels almost like more 3D, if that makes sense. I think the lighting of the game probably really adds to the sense of depth compared to previous Animal Crossing.
It feels very alive in a sense, like the wind rustling all the leaves and the grass and stuff, kind of like waving in the wind constantly. Yeah, and then you got like the rain droplets actually splashing in the river and making like big, like, drops.
Ripples.
Yeah, big ripples and stuff, which look really, really good. And you got like this, it's the small little details of the world that make it look
very
really good.
detailed. That's a good word.
And the coloring is very good as well. So everything pops really well.
Yeah, they have like I don't know if you guys know this, but they have this like there's a little guy who like flies you around, or like there's a new character that's like it's a dodo.
Is his name Corviknight? No.
I don't think so, but
I'm glad you guys understood the joke. Cause like, please, come on, understand. Please understand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think that's his name, but it's a dodo. Wait. Are you just making reference to Pokemon, or are you saying that
flies you around in Pokemon? That.
Oh, he does. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was a joke. It only goes
that
that
was
deep.
the joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, but it's like a dodo character, and he has like a plane.
I just kind of assumed it would be Cap'n. I was hoping. I was hoping he'd come back.
Maybe kind of the equivalent of him, but Harvey. You remember the RV guy from New Leaf? Harvey, he has his own island. It looks like.
Oh.
So,
I know what's going on. I understand exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, Andre.
Yes.
You just look like a man who just knows exactly what's going on
at all times.
Yes.
Yeah, that is not true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hopefully they go over all that kind of stuff in an Animal Crossing direct.
That's why I'm waiting for this direct. I'm gonna learn so much about this, for sure.
Still a lot we need to know. So.
I feel like they have to, because there really is a lot that we don't know.
Which I think is a great segue into the next topic, which is 2 rumored directs.
2 rumored Nintendo Directs.
Right. So basically, the rumor is coming from Zippo on Reset Era. I mean, Zippo is someone who supposedly gets a lot of things. Like, for example, he was talking about Byleth before it was announced. So
really,
yeah, and this person is backed up by Sabby, who's a known leaker who's gotten a whole bunch of things right. So there's that. Anyway, he's saying it's gonna be 2 directs this month, which is not really crazy. Like, that's fairly expected. Like, we at least expect a Nintendo Direct, and we've been talking about a game-specific Animal Crossing Direct for a while. The question is, does it happen?
Always gets a direct.
Right. The question is, does it happen before March, towards the end of February, or a little bit into March? Because if Animal Crossing is coming out March 20th, like, it doesn't have to happen until like at least a week or 2 before the game comes out.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Granted, maybe you want to give some people time to kind of mull it all over with all the information out there and then buy it, right?
I'd assume it'd be at least 2 weeks before. You know.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if we get an Nintendo Direct this week and then an Animal Crossing Direct the week after. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So the 13th and the 20th.
Let me look at my calendar here. Honestly, I think they would go a week in between. I think they'd space it out, so maybe the 27th.
That'd be nice.
I think the 13th and the 27th. Have they ever done just 2 straight up in a row?
Yeah.
Like
they did the Pokemon Direct and the Smash presentation.
That doesn't count.
Why not?
Because it's Pokemon. They do whatever the heck they want.
Right, but then they also did the Smash presentation.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I see your point.
I feel like it's different because technically the Pokemon Direct's a Direct, but it's a Pokemon Direct, so it's like completely its own thing. And then the Smash presentation wasn't a Direct.
Right, but the Smash presentation is a Smash Direct, basically.
But at the same time, it's not.
Right. I mean, maybe it isn't on that day. I'll just say that Zippo has suggested maybe it happens on the 20th. He's not saying that's for sure. That's just what he's kind of like heard from some things.
I mean, I'll take it if it's on. I'll take information sooner. I just feel like I'm gonna bet on the 27th.
I mean, I think that makes more sense because that does space things out a little bit more. There's still plenty of time before the game comes out, so you could be right.
The other thing about the Pokemon Smash Directs, Pokemon Company has to put together the Pokemon Direct, whereas Nintendo has to put together both of these directs. So maybe they
that's true.
They don't want to.
But they record them. Remember what Sakurai said in the last Smash presentation? He said that
it was recorded way in advance, months in advance.
Record way, yeah. I guess they recorded that one like even farther in advance, like 2 months before. They recorded it in like November, because of the holidays and stuff. But So that means that they probably record them at least a week in advance.
What's crazy is that if that's when they just thinking about how long in advance they had recorded the Byleth presentation, that just tells you like how far ahead are they with the next characters, you know?
Yeah.
Like when is that gonna happen? I know some of you are wondering, will we see like a Smash character revealed during this General Nintendo Direct? I'm not expecting that, basically because we just got the Byleth presentation.
Yeah, we just got Byleth last month. Like less than a month
Like a week and a half ago or something, right? Like it hasn't been that long. And we know that these 6 characters are going to be spread out from now all the way up until the end of 2021. That's basically 2 years.
Basically,
so
yeah.
We're probably looking at an average of 3 characters per year. So I think that basically means we're looking at 4-month windows between reveal of one character and another. So it wouldn't surprise me if the next character isn't revealed until E3.
Yeah.
Especially considering that we're not getting this Direct until February, presumably, right? That we get the General Nintendo Direct in February. And given that if we get this Direct in February, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see another Direct until E3. Save for a couple, like, game-specific stuff. Yeah, I don't really expect another Direct. Like, I initially thought maybe, because if we were to get a Direct in January, but we're getting it way later.
We might get another one. Yeah. It's too late. There's really no point in having 2 General Directs.
This is just going to be a huge Direct. It's going to be a huge one. It's going to be big, and it's going to outline everything for the first half of the year, and it's going to tell us some things coming, sort of trickling into the rest of this year as well. So that's what's going to happen. Just looking in the chat here, I see that South added me. I feel like we would get a Nintendo Direct this month and an Animal Crossing Direct in the beginning of March. And that could be the case. That makes sense to me. There's a whole bunch of weeks before the game comes out in March.
Yeah, that is what I would predict if there weren't the rumors that it was going to be this month. Like, that's what I would think. That's what logically makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, putting aside any kind of rumors or evidence on the leaks or anything like that. It just makes sense that they would have it in March. If I had to, not take the rumors into account, I would actually predict like the 6th.
March 6th.
The first.
I would have guessed
the 5th.
The first week.
5th or the 12th, but I would say probably the 5th.
On a Wednesday.
Thursday.
Are we in
Friday's
the same year?
The 6th. Yes, March.
I'm in February.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
That'd be 2 weeks and a day before the presentation, or before the game launches. So, yeah. But they might want to have it, a little bit before then, give people time to, get all the information, have it on the 27th.
Yeah.
Especially if they want pre-orders up, then they want to give people time. You gotta give people time to save up for the game,
Right.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I see that Ronnie Fazio added me. He's saying, I'm still shocked that Nintendo didn't do a Pokemon-themed Pro Controller. It would have been nice.
They
had a Pokemon-themed Switch Lite.
That's what it was. I was like, I knew they have some.
Would have been nice to at least have gotten some Joy-Cons or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always hyped about the Pro Controllers. Bro, what if Breath of the Wild 2 does come out this year and we get a Breath of the Wild themed Pro Controller? That could be sick. That would be pretty sick. I'd love it. I want it.
That would be exciting.
Like, imagine if it's a controller has like that sort of blue-green glow, just like in the trailer.
That would be interesting.
That would be so cool.
We have to find out what that blue-green glow is, though.
What color? Or just what it is? Like,
no, we have to find out what it is.
My theory is that it's related to the Zonai.
And the hand.
I think it's all related to the Zonai. I don't think it's the Sheikah. I think the Zonai are this tribe that we didn't actually see alive in Breath of the Wild, but there were hints about them, like these special armor, like that warrior armor. Right, and then there was all these different ruins, like the dragon heads and things like that. Then it's all related to the Zonai, and I think we're gonna learn more about them, this ancient dead tribe. And if you looked at the trailer, like we've analyzed it, the words or supposedly it's like saying like, I don't remember what the words were necessarily saying, but I remember that the music was saying "Save us" backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking terrifying. Basically, the implication is that there's all these spirits, and they're begging for us to save. They're begging for you to save them, because they've been trapped here. And the King of Evil, the Demon Lord Ganondorf, is being resurrected in this trailer.
Yeah.
Like, it is some deep, dark stuff. Like, this dude has been this dead corpse emanating the calamity from his chest his entire time, and basically just his pissed off energy is the whole problem for Breath of the Wild. But in Breath of the Wild Teal 2, you're dealing with the source of the evil, like the core essence of what this darkness actually is, and the Calamity Ganon was just a puppet. It wasn't the real thing. Like, that super force that you dealt with was nothing compared to where we're going. That's what the trailer told me. I am so excited about it. I am entirely enamored with what this game could be. So I'm excited for it. I really hope that it's happening. Maybe we'll see something about it during this direct. Maybe. Fingers crossed.
Kind of creeps me out.
Oh, it's terrifying. I love it. I know what said that he's gonna make this Zelda dark. This is gonna be a dark Zelda game. I love dark. Majora's Mask was one of my favorite games. So if they going that dark direction is really awesome. Like, I mean, Breath of the Wild is actually supposed to be kind of dark too. Like, you start the game being resurrected. You are a fallen warrior, right? Everyone around you is dead. You're playing through a post-apocalyptic world. So, like, just when you look
lost.
Yeah. You lost, exactly. You're playing the fallen hero timeline or something, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this next one's gonna take it to another level. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, but just kind of getting into the final topic here, and we could talk Zelda all we want. Don't worry, we can talk about that. But I just want to talk a little bit about this other topic, and that has to do with the coronavirus. Now, I don't know that much about the coronavirus. I know it's bad. I know it's spreading a lot. There's a lot of people in China suffering. It's terrible, and
it's really bad.
Worse.
It's actually in terms of the death count, it's overtaken stars.
Wow. Yeah, it's not good. But in terms of gaming news, that's what we're talking about specifically. So basically, it has been said that this will impact Nintendo's manufacturing. But it's been clarified that this will only impact the Japanese sales. So the markets of Europe and North America will not be impacted by the coronavirus.
Not be affected.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it makes sense. I mean, they had already been moving their manufacturing suppliers to Japan and other countries away from China. So it makes sense that they already have several, non-China based manufacturing locations, so their supply isn't completely affected.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good that they were trying to do that, because I feel like if you have everything in China, it's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know too much about it, just to put it out there. I think because it's become such a commonplace thing, like, people there's the debate, manufacturing in China, is that exploitive, right? Like, are we exploiting, or when I say we, are these different companies exploiting the people in China, because they don't not pay that much? So
100%.
So there's that element. So I definitely like the idea of things being moved away from there for that reason. But yeah, so, this thing is serious. It is impacting manufacturing, which is pretty nuts. It doesn't look like it's going to impact us here in the States or in Europe.
Mostly, I've heard some European places are, like, sold out completely of Switches. But I'm not exactly sure where, I forget. But I heard somewhere in, like, Europe. But not all of Europe is affected.
Yeah. Yeah. I see Wooper is heading out for the night. Have a good night, Wooper.
All right, bye, Wooper.
Jackson McGee added me. It also affected the Outer Worlds Switch port 2. The company point of the game is based in Singapore.
Yeah. That's. I was trying to think of what it was.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, so Outer Worlds is also being delayed, the Switch port. Apparently, they're also going to be making sure that it is brought as a cartridge, not just a download code.
Right.
So they're working on that, which is nice for people who want that. And the game is going to be coming out a little bit later. I don't know if they've given us a date on that yet. But that is another example of what this is affecting. Now, I didn't look into this myself yet. Maybe, Brandon, you could shed some light on it for us, or perhaps you could, Kazoo. But I heard, I don't know, I have no idea. But I simply heard from someone that maybe, and this is not like an inside source, it's just someone mentioning something they saw, that PS5 and Xbox Series X, their release dates could be impacted by this coronavirus. Like, their manufacturing process could be impacted. I don't know if that's true or not. Right. That's just what I heard. Do you guys know anything about that? What do you think?
I don't actually know where these are manufactured, but I will say that it's not uncommon for consoles to sell out day one anyways. So I think they would just release it, even if it was more limited stock than they wanted. I think they would just release it anyways. I don't think they would ever delay the console, and they would just be like, well, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you should have pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I guess so.
I want to see if there's any articles out for it. PS5. You know, I just want to see if there's anything being said about this right now, like officially.
I haven't heard anything officially yet. I have heard some people saying that maybe this was an idea. I don't think it really holds that much water, but some people are saying that Nintendo wouldn't want to release a Switch Pro this year because manufacturing is already affected.
I don't think that was...
I really don't think that that's the case. Honestly, I don't think that they would change their decision just on that alone. And plus, I don't think that kind of decision isn't something you make this quickly. The coronavirus thing hasn't been, like that long. Like, it's a pretty recent thing. So it's something that they would have had to have decided recently.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't think that makes too much sense.
I'll say that according to Tech Radar, they think it's unlikely that PS5 and Xbox Series X will be delayed because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, so, I really don't think it would be.
Now, someone did say that they think it could, but, there seems to be conflict. And this is all just rumor and speculation, really. Different business insiders saying, one thing over another. But Tech Radar, they consulted a Business Insider, and according to them, they don't think it's going to happen. So
no, I really doubt it. Now, they might be a little short, and I'll definitely be pre-ordering both of them to make sure I get one.
Really?
But I don't.
Well, that's right. You have a job now.
I have money, so I can afford that. So yeah. Make sure I get those day one for sure.
Terry added me. I think the Nintendo Direct will be on Thursday. They'll show be an edit, but I don't think we'll see more of Breath of the Wild 2 until E3. Possible. The game's already announced, so it could still,
I think the most we'd see of Breath of the Wild 2, if we did see it, would be like a quick panning shot, like
of the world or something, and then just 2020.
I mean, we got a very similar trailer for Breath of the Wild back in before E3
when they showed like a shot of Link and it was like 2015.
It was wrong. 2015. 2015.
It was wrong, but yeah.
Man, remember when we thought that it was coming out in 2015?
Indeed, Oh, the sadness. Garrett Legendstone, hello there. How you doing?
I think
Garrett.
That one was back when we thought it was coming out 2016, though. And then they delayed it again at E3.
Yeah.
Right.
They did.
I think that actually flashed. I think it actually flashed up 2016 on that.
Maybe it was 2016, and then it basically just got delayed 4 months.
Yeah, it got delayed.
Which is not that bad.
A few months,
Yeah.
Terry's saying, some people think the coronavirus is caused by Corona beer. I don't think that's true. I think supposedly what I heard is it came from an animal.
No.
I forgot what.
Actually, apparently alcohol kills it. So drink up, my friends.
Oh.
Stay thirsty.
I don't really know what's going on.
But yeah, it's not really a problem in America though. More people die to the flu than to the coronavirus, so it's not like a
well, I mean,
huge,
but you're okay. Think about it though. You're comparing years of flu data to a couple months of the coronavirus. So it's not really an accurate comparison.
So apparently, and I really don't know what's going on with this guy. So really, this is just me like Googling stuff, looking stuff up. I have no idea. Don't take for what I'm saying with any like serious level of credibility here. Just another dude, just talking about random stuff. When it comes to this, when it comes to my Nintendo stuff, I do my research. If I get it wrong, I let you know. Right. But apparently, the source for the coronavirus is this little guy here, a pangolin. So that's the suspected source of the coronavirus. This weird-looking animal here.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of animal is that?
It's called a pangolin.
Well, okay, I know, but like, is it a?
It's obviously
lizard?
A Pokemon.
Is it a bird?
It's a armadillo demon god.
Oh, it's an armadillo demon. Okay, I see it now. I see it now.
I know. I don't really know what it is. It's some sort of mammal with scales.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe the cause is an angry cat.
Perhaps it is a mammal, according to Wikipedia.
Oh,
Pangolins, the scaly anteaters, are mammals of the order Pholidota. The one extant family. This doesn't interest me. I want to know what it is.
Apparently, armadillos carry leprosy. So.
Armadillos carry leprosy?
Yeah, they can.
Wow.
Which is weird. It's just weird of thinking about leprosy in 2020.
That
actual thing.
That is weird.
It is strange. I don't know what's going on with this. But yeah, I would just be careful. Clean your hands. Be healthy. If you see someone coughing, don't put your face right in front of their cough. Probably not a good idea. Just a good rule of thumb.
I mean, I wouldn't even do that anyway, even if it weren't for the coronavirus. So.
Oh, what? That's my favorite pastime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's always a fun time.
Jugs McGee, maybe this pangolin is considered a rodent. I don't know. So definitely weird. Sounds for Atomy. Are you guys watching the Sonic movie? Just wondering. I'll probably eventually see it. I don't know if I'm gonna go to the theater for it. We'll see. Right now, I don't really have any plans for it. I tell you what I am planning on seeing. By the way, guys, the podcast is ending. So if you have any final questions or things to bring up, by all means, this is your opportunity to do so. I do plan on watching the Mike.
Your cat is very upset.
Well, my gosh.
That was very upset.
Cappy, that was.
She clearly has a negative review for the podcast, but for those watching, hopefully you don't have a negative review for the podcast. Leave a like, subscribe. That'd be appreciated. Make sure to check out both Brandon and Kazoo's channels. They are linked in the description below. Check out their stuff as well. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and watch. There's a My Hero movie coming out. It came out in Japan already. I want to watch it. It's coming in America February 26th. So I will be watching that fairly soon. It's on the 26th. That's when I'm going to watch it. I don't know if I'm going to watch the Sonic movie. I mean, I'm going to watch it eventually. Have reviews started coming out for it yet?
To watch it in theaters. I've heard it's actually not bad.
Okay.
Heard it's actually pretty good. But I haven't seen reviews. I've just heard people like their thoughts on Twitter. I don't know what the general public's saying about it. Apparently it's not horrible. Maybe.
It doesn't really have a critical consensus yet.
I am 100% certain that if they didn't change the design, though, they'd be...
Yeah, I'm glad they at least changed the design. I'm definitely curious.
It definitely makes the scenes funnier. Even just watching the trailers, I'm just thinking, like, God, with that design, the scene would not be funny.
I wonder how the movie is going to be. I don't know. Like, in terms of quality, I feel like it's not likely to be great. But maybe it'll be passable.
I just don't want to spend the money to go see it in theaters. So
no, yeah, I'm not that into it, but we'll see what happens. If it's a solid movie, maybe I will watch it.
Maybe.
Sad 64 added, added us. He's asking, do you think we'll hear anything about Splatoon? I do not think so. I think there was a Splatoon 3 teaser recently with that image where it was celebrating like the new year, but I think it was just saying, hey, we're working on something. I don't really think
the
it was meant to
director
be
said
for a ways off.
Splatoon 3 was a ways off.
And that was like 6 months ago, or half a year ago, or something like that. So
yeah.
I
honestly don't think we're gonna get Splatoon 3 for several years.
Ronnie Fazio,
maybe even the next Switch,
is asking me, am I a fan of One Piece? Well, hold on.
Is he going over to get his One Piece poster or something? I'm a
fan of One Piece.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, you have a Luffy hat.
I have a Luffy hat.
You have a Luffy hat.
I went to Comic-Con like a couple years ago. I cosplayed as Luffy.
Oh, really?
So I am...
Was that even a couple of years ago? I feel like it was...
a year and a half?
Yeah, wow. It's not even that long.
Like almost... It wasn't last October. Time? It was October 2018.
God, what even is time anymore?
Because it wasn't last October. So I missed the last Comic-Con in New York, but I went to the one before that. So... yeah. I am a fan of One Piece. Big fan. Love it.
All my memories, my timeline, just like all at once.
Do you watch the sub or the dub?
Always sub. Sub for life.
Well, then what I was going to say is invalidated.
I'm sorry. Go on. Say it anyway, though. Some people like dub things. I'll say that I like Dragon Ball dub. I still watch the sub first because it comes out earlier,
Oh. Do you like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah. I love Trunks.
Well, I know him IRL then. I know him.
Oh, you know the Trunks voice actor?
I do.
That's awesome.
And he plays what's his name, Sanji in One Piece.
Ooh. Okay.
Chugs McGee is a fan of the dubs apparently.
No.
I love One Piece. It's just too much to catch up on.
It's a lot to watch. It really is. Yeah.
When I was an anime watcher, I watched the dub. Yes, Lily, One Piece is an anime.
I just wish I got into anime like 10 years ago, so it's actually like back when I could have caught up.
Yeah, there's a lot to watch. I suggest skipping the fillers, but that doesn't help that much.
No.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think the problem with One Piece is they take the episodes are so slow.
They're very slow
paced. They take
paced.
20 million years to get anything done. That's my only problem with One Piece, is that I feel like if I had to watch this week by week, I'd die because nothing happens in an episode. You need to, like, 3 or 4 episodes is the amount you have to watch for like a normal episode, like as far as like them getting through the plot.
Oh
yeah. So
the whole plot is like 3 to 4 episodes, where it should take like 1 episode.
Yeah, just the amount of the plot they actually get through.
Yeah.
The amount of progress they make is like 3 or 4 episodes to 1 of a normal episode.
Sabbath is asking me if I have gotten DBZ Kakarot. No, I haven't, but I am interested in it. But I'm also interested in a lot of games. I want to get Star Wars Fallen Order. I want to get Nier Automata. I still have to. I want to finish God of War.
Lily would be able to tell you about Star Wars Fallen Order, just Star Wars in general.
I want to get that.
She'd tell you about that.
Really? Yeah.
I'm gonna get that after I get my new PC. So
I have to get Luigi's Mansion 3. I still haven't picked that up yet either.
God, it's so good.
I am buddy fool.
Luigi's Mansion 3 is awesome. I really like it.
I'm trying to decide, should I get Star Wars Fallen Order first or Luigi's Mansion 3 first? Yes, I know, this is a Nintendo
Luigi's Mansion 3 all the way.
But I have recently become a big lover of Star Wars, so it's kind of like...
But Luigi's Mansion is probably shorter to play through. It's not a super long
It's also $60, which is a lot.
I don't think Star Wars is on sale right now, though. So it's
I don't know.
Too.
I do have an Amazon gift card.
You should get it at Walmart for $50, and it's cheaper.
I have another $50 gift card, so there's that. I can just pay the taxes, basically, on Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I really want to get Star Wars. That's gonna be one of my next game purchases.
Lily thinks I should go for Star Wars.
Well, of course Lily does. Lily would.
Yeah.
She also says I love Star Wars in the very last comment. So.
Yep.
Star Wars is the best. It's great. I'm actually watching through Clone Wars right now. It's pretty good. So I'm in season 3. I know season 7 is coming out really soon. But
Sabbath is also a heathen. Hasn't played Luigi's Mansion 3.
I want Luigi's Mansion 3. I played a little bit of it at a friend's house, and I was just finding all these little different things. I really love it, so it's pretty cool. Man, now I want to go ahead and finish that puzzle I was working on. But I have to get up at 6:30 in the morning. Actually 6, because I take a long to get up. 6-ish. So that leaves me like 7 hours from this point before I have to get up. So probably should end the podcast. Probably, yeah. So
you're right.
That's pretty much happening, guys. We covered everything, right? Is there anything else you guys want to bring up before we call it a night? Guys in chat, feel free to ask any questions or anything you guys want to talk about before we end it all.
I think we covered the topics pretty well.
I think so, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so one thing you guys are hoping to see this week, assuming there's a direct.
I said ooh so many times that I had nothing. I don't want to steal what your probably is going to be, but I'm going to anyways, because my brain is not working. Metroid Prime Trilogy HD.
Oh, good, because I wasn't going to say that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was going to say Breath of the Wild 2020 confirmation.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to say something a little bit that I thought was going to happen more than that, you know?
Yeah, because anything in particular hoping to happen in the next Nintendo Direct?
Oh, anything that I'm hoping for? I like can't. Let's see here. Trying to think of something like maybe I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. You guys took the good ones. Maybe something to do with like a new Mario game. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe something to do with the new Mario game.
Okay. Maybe would it be Paper Mario Kart 9, or 10?
Oh,
do we count
Mario
Kart
Kart
Tour?
9 would be interesting. I don't think we're gonna see that though until the next console. Like
okay.
I don't think we would see anything.
Oh yeah, what is your opinion on that actually? Because there's this big rumor that Mario Kart 9 is gonna replace Breath of the Wild as the holiday title. How do you feel about that?
And I don't know why. Like I don't understand why people think that.
Well, that's just what some leakers are saying.
I know it's what leakers are saying, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
Okay. All right. I think it'd be cool if they ended up getting both, because I feel like they hit different things. Like Mario Kart is like more of a social multiplayer experience. Zelda is that immersive sort of world that you can explore and really forget about everything else, right? And I feel like we need something like that this year. If we don't get that this year, I'd be disappointed. Like, I guess 2019 we had
competition's gonna have with Halo and whatever Sony has for their launch games.
Yeah, so I think a Mario Kart 9 wouldn't do the best job of saying, hey, buy another Switch so you don't buy those other systems. Because, like, Mario Kart 9 would be great. Don't get me wrong. It's just kind of like we already have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The people who bought the Switch for Mario Kart probably already bought the Switch, you know? And Mario Kart. So I just think...
That's true, and so it wouldn't sell more Switches. Right.
And Brandon made that point last week, so I'd be stealing his thunder if I took credit for that. But, yeah, I just think it makes it. It's not that it can't happen. I just think that if that is the only holiday title, I think that would be a bit of a misstep by Nintendo. Okay. And it doesn't have to be Zelda, but what could replace that? What could fill that role? I think Metroid Prime 4 could fill that role, but I don't think that's coming out anytime soon. So, I doubt it's that. Maybe a Mario Odyssey 2, that Mario Odyssey 2 could do that. I think that's one of the few Nintendo games that could be put out that could sort of satisfy that holiday spot. That would be something that people would really want to get. I could see that. Although I really do feel like Zelda, especially when it comes to like appealing to like the hardcore market that might go for like a PS5 or a Series X. Zelda's like that thing, but like people are like, oh, that looks really cool. I might want to go for that. At the same time, though, it is Nintendo. They don't necessarily try to directly compete with the competition.
Yeah,
but
now
compete
Xbox is saying that Nintendo and Sony both are not their competition going forward because they're going for the games as a service model. They're saying it's Amazon and Google.
Yeah,
who
actually, you know
directly
what?
Compete
Another
with.
thing I would like to see during the Direct is maybe Rare Replay or another Microsoft published game on the Switch. Perhaps.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, imagine we finally get some announcement for Master Chief Collection or at least 1 or 2 Halo games coming. That'd be really cool. I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd be all over it. Yeah. But
I'd have to buy Master Chief Collection for a 3rd time.
Ronnie says Pikmin 4.
Oh, Pikmin 4 would be great. Absolutely.
I mean, me and Andres at least think Pikmin 3 is going to probably be at the Direct. So
So I'm not expecting Pikmin 4, but I would love Pikmin 4. Yeah. I mean, if we get Pikmin 3, that could be pointing towards Pikmin 4 in the future if it does well, right? So there's that. But let me see this. Garrett saying could be on the next console for Mario Kart 9. I don't know if the physics will be the same or different than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I just think it would have to be very different if it's on the same system. So we'll see what happens with that. I want Mario Kart 9, just to be clear. Like, I'm all about that. That'd be cool. I just don't think that is necessarily the best business move for Nintendo, in my opinion, if that's the only holiday title. If it's like a combo deal where we get Mario Kart and Zelda, that's different. That would be just money. You know, that'd be wonderful for everyone involved. So we'll see what happens, though. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching. Make sure to check out TheYellowKazoo. Her channel is linked in the description below. Check out Brandon's channel, What About Nintendo, also linked in the description below. Leave a like so I don't cry. And make sure you're subscribed and watch my videos as well. So, yeah. And if there's a Direct this week, you know we're going to be talking about it. So stay tuned.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's take care, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for